Hi. In this video, we are going to learn about the words he, she, and they in Spanish. These are subject pronouns, so we're going to start out learning a little bit about subject pronouns. We're going to talk about why it matters, why this is important to learn about. And finally, we're going to do a little bit of practice together. We are going to decide with a list of people, should their subject pronoun be or would their subject pronoun be el, ella, ellos, or ellas? And then finally, would we use then tiene or tienen with those people? So let's get started. The first thing to talk about are subject pronouns. We already know some subject pronouns in Spanish. First of all, here are subject pronouns in English. I, you, he, she, they. These are all examples of subject pronouns in English. And like I said, we know some of these already in Spanish. For example, I is yo. You, we learned about in our last lesson. We know that there's more than one word for you. Tú is more of an informal word for you, and usted is more of a formal word for you. So today we're really going to focus on these three that we haven't learned yet. He, which is él with an accent mark. She, which is ella, and make sure in Spanish, right, the two L's always make a ya sound. And finally, they, which will be ellos or ellas, again, the yes sound, right? Ellos we're going to use with a group of guys or a group of boys, or if it's mixed, if it's girls and guys together in a mixed group, we'll use ellos. Ellas we will use if it's a group of girls, of all girls, then we use ellas as that subject pronoun. So here are examples of subject pronouns in English and their translations to Spanish. So why does this matter? Well, let's take a look at here. Let's take a look at something that happens in English, and then we'll look at how that happens as well in Spanish. So here's the subject pronouns, I, he, they. Notice how the verb I'm using, the form of this verb changes depending on the subject pronoun. We say I have, he has, they have or has, and it depends on the subject pronoun. There's a similar thing that happens in Spanish. For I, which we know is yo, we say yo tengo. For he, we say él tiene. And for they, we say ellos or ellas, if it's all girls, tienen, right? So tengo, tiene, tienen. So which form of this verb we use depends on the subject pronoun. So that's why this is an important concept to understand and to learn pretty thoroughly. So let's practice together, okay? Let's start out with él, ella, ellos, or ellas. And let's take a look at these people, okay? Here's a list of people here. All right, so Ana. Ana is just like one girl, right? So she would be él, ella, ellos, or ellas. Well, Ana would be ella, right? She. What about Pablo? A single guy, so he would be he, él. But now let's take a look at Ana y Pablo. Now it's not a she or a he. Now we have they. And should it be ellos or ellas? Well, we learned if it's a group of boys and girls, in this case we have a girl and a boy, then we're going to use ellos. Okay, so look at this list. You could even pause the video if you wanted to and try on your own to figure out what would be the subject pronouns for the following people. Okay, so here we have the subject pronouns for the following people. Ana, ella, Pablo, él, Ana y Pablo, ellos, mi amiga, ella, mis amigas, ellas, mis amigos, ellos, Ana y Mónica, ellas, Ana y Pablo, ellos, Pablo y Eric, ellos, mi hermano, él, mi hermana, ella, mis hermanos, ellos, mis hermanas, ellas. Okay. So now that we know the subject pronouns for each of these people, which form of tener would we use? So we know we say tiene for he or she, él tiene or ella tiene for she has. And we use tienen for they. So ellos tienen for they have if it's all guys or a mixture of guys and girls. And ellas tienen if it's all girls. Okay, so he, she, they. So for Ana or ella, the form of tener we would use would be tiene. Right? We could say Ana tiene for Ana has, or ella tiene for she has. For Pablo as well, tiene. But now Ana y Pablo, that's, they, not he or she, but they all together. So that's when we would use tienen. Okay, so do the rest on your own. Try it out. You can even pause the video if you'd like. Okay, so now we have the form of either tiene or tienen to use with the following people. We say Ana tiene, Pablo tiene, Ana y Pablo tienen, mi amigo tiene, mis amigas tienen, mis amigos tienen, Ana y Mónica tienen, Ana y Pablo tienen, Pablo y Eric tienen, mi hermano tiene, mi hermana tiene, mis hermanos tienen, mis hermanas tienen. All right, so in the space here in your Cornell notes, write a summary of the lesson. Adios.